What's up, everyone? Welcome back. I'm McLain, and I'm a music producer. So, as you can see, I'm back in Nashville for a few days, just doing some filming while I'm here. And today I'm doing FKA Twigs LP1. So, really stoked. I've heard amazing things about this, and not gonna lie, I've heard one small snippet of a song, and I absolutely just loved it. So, I'm really stoked to see how this sounds. I've literally held off on listening to it for this specifically, so it should be fun. That being said, before we get started, as always, please give me a like, give me a subscribe if you enjoy the channel. I'm actually going to put a schedule up on the screen right now so you guys can see what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the week. I'm going to start doing that on a weekly basis, and you can also now go onto my Instagram. I was trying to remember what it was. You can go on my Instagram, and I'll post a story twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You guys get to vote on what I'm going to do for the next week, so kind of helps keep things a little bit more organized. I really know what you guys want, and just I feel like you guys are more involved that way, so a little bit easier. So yeah, go give me a follow on Instagram. I'll put that up top. And that's pretty much that. Oh, please also go check out the Patreon. There's a $2 option. Help support the channel. I cannot tell you how much it means when you guys do that. Seriously, it helps so much. So yeah, that's everything. Let's get started. Let's go. Oh, one last thing. I know I'm trying to remember everything right now. It's just been crazy. I'm getting everything set up here, but I now have a team of girls who are helping me get everything done and kind of keep everything organized. I just wanted to shout out to them. They're absolutely incredible. It huge weight lifted off my shoulders. So now I can do some more music and focus on that stuff and actually, have a little bit more fun with the videos too. So thank you guys for that. Let's go. Let's start. So this is the preface. Okay, I'm already gonna say this might just be a little bit more artistic than I anticipated, because now I'm looking at the album cover, and I'm listening to the way that some of this is put together, and wow, it's it's very ambient. So far, although this is just the intro, so I don't know. Let's see where it goes. About it is it's almost supposed to make you feel uncomfortable, because it has all of these little all of these tones with all these frequencies that are fighting each other, so it feels just very, very, very uncomfortable, because it's not in harmony, you know what I mean? Interesting. You know what I'm also going to do with these? I actually thought about this earlier and I forgot to tell you guys. I think and this is just before we move on, I think I'm going to start rating the albums and just give you guys what I think my rating would be, 1 out of 10, and just let you know. So stick around to the end of the video to see that. But let's keep going to Lights On. That was one of the weirdest intros I've ever heard. Cool bass drop.
someday I can share this place.
She's got a beautiful voice. You know, again, it's super ambient and very, very weird. There's almost like a phase on her vocal, like they took two of the same vocal and doubled them, so they put them on top of each other, so you get this weird, almost like, it does almost sound like it's wet. You know what I mean? Like it's underwater, which also the feels the same way because of the verb that's on it, and they're slightly detuned, which is interesting.
With you, you'll be the first one to find the shadows that make the girl you undo. Because the man that you are is defined by the way that you act in the light. Break or cease me. If the flame gets blown out and you shine, I will know that you cannot be mine. Live or leave me. When I trust you, we can do it with the lights on. When I trust you, we can do it with the lights on.
That's kind of what I was waiting for. I was waiting for something sort of like a hook because it was sitting there for a while. Like, although we're at a minute 15, you know, you generally want to hit that hook, that chorus by like about a minute, you know. Really and truly like 30 seconds. You really want to be there by 30 seconds, but a minute is, for this kind of a song, is probably fine.
I trust you, we'll make love until the morning. Let me tell you all my secrets and I whisper till the day's done. When I trust you, we can do it with the lights on. When I trust you, we can do it with the lights on. When I trust you, we'll make love until the morning. Let me tell you all my secrets and I whisper till the day's done.
Gosh, that horn or whatever it is the only thing that's like getting me, because it's like detuned and it's just almost like, which I'm sure it's supposed to be, it almost just sounds like somebody that's just like just has no idea what they're doing on it, you know, but it's the artistic thing. Yeah, this is gonna be interesting.
Break or cease me. Let the things that I tell you survive, and the way that you handle your sides. Live or leave me. When I trust you, we can do it with the lights on. When I trust you, we can do it with the lights on. When I trust you, we'll make love until the morning. Let me tell you all my secrets and I whisper till the day's done. When I trust you, we can.
And see, she hit that hook again around 2 minutes, so that means it's been about a minute for the verse, which still, that's pretty long, you know, and like you could lose people, but it doesn't feel like it's supposed to be pop music, you know. It feels like it's supposed to be a little bit more, I keep saying artistic and ambient.
With the lights on. When I trust you, we can do it with the lights on. When I trust you, we'll make love until the morning. Let me tell you all my secrets and I whisper till the day's done.
It's like lo-fi hip-hop. Went there too. They made it like they purposely went to a chord that doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? It just clashes completely, and it just feels like it's on purpose. You know, it almost feels like if you imagine like the people doing like interpretive dances or something like that, you know, up on a stage. That's almost what this reminds me of a little bit, because it's just very like it's very random sound here, random sound here, random sound here. You know, just kind of trying to pull your ear in that way.
When I trust you, we can do it with the lights on. When I trust you, we can do it with the lights on. When I trust you, we'll make love until the morning. Let me tell you all my secrets and I whisper till the day's done. When I trust you, we can do it with the lights on. When I trust you, we can do it with the lights on. When I trust you, we'll make love until the morning. Let me tell you all my secrets and I
these sounds, it's unbelievable. It's like they're just taking everything and kind of throwing it in there, you know? It's almost like somebody splattering paint, just nah, da, da, da. It's very modern. Huh. Okay. Alright, so let's go to 2 weeks. I also keep having to adjust my audio levels because I haven't been here in a little bit, so I gotta get everything kind of set again.
I know it hurts.
Okay.
You know I'd quench that thirst. I can teach you say you're lonely. I say you think about it.
I like her voice there. I like the contrast. You know, sometimes like I feel like whenever people do attempt this style, they end up losing themselves to the music because like they put way too much verb on the vocal, and so it just gets lost in the actual mix. It gets lost in the music itself. But here, I like her vocal nice and dry and up front with all that verb in the back. It really kind of gives it a better, a clearer picture.
'Cause you're the only
It's nice.
one who resonates, that chase mouth open like higher than the marathon, the dreaming of is
Nice.
flying like a streamer from the old west. You're high.
Beautiful harmony too, but I, notice the little instruments that they're adding in on this hook, like every few bars. So it just kind of keeps building and keeps taking it to another little level.
I know it hurts. You know.
Wish that snare was farther forward here though, just like, you know. Gah. So it just comes a little bit farther forward because they didn't have that on the first one.
I put you first. I can fuck you. Say you want me. I say you live without it. Unless you're the only one who instigates. Get your mouth open. Your heart.
So there is one more thing I wished, and it's that space there. I want a little bit more of a melody. I feel like it would kick if there was something in between. So like, wait until she does it again, and I'll see if I can't hear it. Yeah, let me pull it back, because I feel like it just needs something in between, so... Is that what it was? Let me see.
Gates, get your mouth open, your heart.
So yeah, let me try that one more time to make sure.
Mouth open, your heart. Higher than the marathon, the dreaming of your heart. Flying like a streamer.
See what I mean? It would just kind of fill that space a little bit. I just feel like there's a good opportunity for an amazing little melody there that she could play with, and just keep that writing a little bit more, but still.
On the west, your heart. Oh, nothing inside it can be to which you won't recognize. Mouth open, your heart.
it sounds super sexualized, but I bet you it isn't. I bet you it's all like, judging by the amount of production that they're putting into this, and judging by like the like this artistic vision that I'm sure she has, there's no way it would be that straightforward. Guaranteed there's more layers to it than just that. There's probably it's probably all just like a metaphor for something, or you know, just trying to get like the big picture between it, or maybe it is just super straightforward, you know. I keep going. Let's go to hours.
I could kiss you for life.
You know what's kind of crazy here? They've switched it. So on the last one, her vocal was up front and dry, and everything else was a little bit farther back. Now the beat is way farther up, and it's probably to highlight, because it sounds like they did the thing like where you kind of go around the house and you find different things and you make sounds out of those, you know, and you make beats out of those, which personally I like. I think it's cool, but I like it more when like you incorporate them in ways that are extremely subtle. You know, like they might still be things that are like relevant maybe to the song or to the lyric, but I like it when it's a little bit more subtle, and then you have like real drums on top of it or something like that, and it like changes the sound of maybe the drum. Like for example, if you have like you know, a song that's about being like tied down or something like that, maybe you know, open up the kick drum and put chains inside of the kick drum and see what kind of sound you get there. And then nobody would really ever 100% know, but it's still cool because it kind of like subtly drives in that feeling, you know what I mean? Than I thought it would be.
Do you feel it with me? Am I suited to fit all of your needs?
It also feels like it's supposed to be very vulnerable, you know, and again uncomfortable, which you guys know, like I like pop music. I like things that are very, 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 very organized, you know. And I think when it comes to stuff like this, the reason that, because honestly, I would place this in like the same category as like Lorde or Lana Del Rey or like I'm trying to think of a couple others. It's just way more experimental, indie, artistic. You know, it feels like that. And I guess like the difference is like, as a musician, like what do you want? You have to ask yourself what you want. And like for me, I know I grew up and I wanted nothing more than to write like the greatest songs that like anybody has ever heard. You know what I mean? I want songs that are as legendary. I want to write songs that are as legendary as, you know, like Elton John, Your Song, or like the Beatles, or like, you know, anything like that. The ones that you think of and they're just absolutely timeless, you know. And not that these aren't timeless, they're just, I think there's a different purpose there, You know, like I listen to things in pop music because I want to know what's pulling people's ears, like what, you know, why people enjoy what they hear, so that I can create the most addicting song possible in that way. Because I always just, you know, imagine, like, my dream was always like to stand on a stage and sing for, you know, hundreds of thousands of people, and they sing my music back to me, or they sing my song back to me. You know, that was just always wanted that. You know, I worked at it every single day. But for someone like this, it's different. At least I feel like it's probably different. It's more or less about a very specific image that you want to get across, not necessarily in the person, but in the feeling. It's like a lot of these people are artists first, and then they kind of move into, you know, Halsey is another example. Her album is a little bit, it's more like the pop version of this, but it almost feels like they've set up this art gallery for you to walk through, and it's an animated art gallery. And as you're walking through, you know, there's a guy hitting a drum here, and there's somebody, you know, splattering paint here, and there's a little strobe here, and they want you to have that sort of an experience as you walk through. It's not necessarily about the crowd to performer relationship. It's more or less about the symbolism, the image, like that sort of thing. It's artistic, you know. It's that kind of a line. It's not about it's a weird thing. Music is weird. I don't even know. It'll probably hit me. I'll probably be in bed thinking about it tonight. But end of rant. Let's keep going.
How would you like it if I said before I bite, but it wasn't too hard, so it felt alright? How would you like it if I held you in my arms?
They use a lot of little bass drops too. You know, with these, it is hard for me to comment on a lot of the production stuff because it kind of repeats and it stays in this one vibe, you know, almost the entire time. So there isn't a lot that's changing. I'm trying to kind of pay attention a little bit more to like the lyrics and the idea behind it, you know.
Rounds of your bed just be a substitute for harder. Do you believe me? Harder. Am I suited to fit all of your needs?
Another thing to notice, there's no like chord progression. There's really nothing driving it aside from there's really nothing driving it in general. Like it's just very, very, you know, little bit of a melody here, a little bit of a melody here, and nothing actually is really even harmonizing with the other things in it. It's almost like they're all individualized sounds, you know, which again is probably what she wanted out of it.
I could kiss your eyes, and I miss it.
Even then, see, it's just a one droning tone, and then little hit here, little hit on this instrument, little hit on this instrument. There's nothing, you know, there's no piano driving, there's no guitar driving it, there's no anything that remains constant throughout the song. vocal a little bit more and more and more throughout this, though. It's almost like you're kind of losing yourself to the emotion. I think that's the goal there. So weird. It's so weird. Gosh, the last 2 albums that I've done are just like the most experimental things ever. Okay, so let's go to Pendulum.
I'm a sweet
I like it.
little lovemaker.
She really does like having those awkward spaces. It just like, there's nothing there to fill it. It's really, really weird and really different. And there's gotta be a reason behind it, but it's so almost like uncomfortable to the point where it's like, come on, please do something. It's like if you're having a conversation with somebody and, you know, you just like, you get to that point where nobody knows what to say and it's just the awkward silence for a second. That's what it feels like. The vocoder that's under her vocal too there, which is like what makes it kind of sound like there's more like robotic sounding harmonies. Even there, like they're playing some of the weird like off notes that shouldn't even necessarily be part of it. Like, I mean, I guess because there's no progression or anything, it really doesn't matter what you do. This is one of those things where it's like you learn music theory just to break all the rules, that sort of a thing.
For your constant vow. I've got time, but you're tired of waiting. You only want me in open spaces. Can't fill your gaps with people. I know no one's so lonely, trying to realize when you're looking for so much more.
I like the guitar. I like the guitar a lot. See what it does? It's so crazy. When you don't have anything like that and suddenly you do bring a little bit of structure to it, it feels so good. Like, humans do crave structure. And so when you don't give them any structure and then suddenly you give it to them, it feels absolutely amazing. It was a little longer though.
I'm your sweet
Interesting.
little lovemaker. You're younger than I am broken. I dance feelings like the spoken. So many conversations, not enough. So lonely, trying to
That's gorgeous with the harmonies behind it. I want a little bit more of that on this, to be completely honest with you. And that is just me, you know? Because like my brain's always looking for something to grab. I get bored super easily. So like when something is sort of staying right here, like I want it to do something, and it does there. That feels really nice.
What if I
she's been using that the entire time too. It's almost like a signature thing. There you go, there's a little bit of structure again. See, with just the little go, go, go. Like I want more. Sick there, oh my god, because of the up, like the way it lifts. If she had taken something a little bit more traditional and put like a choir behind it, like a gospel choir, oh my god, that would have given me that would have given me chills. Like, whoa, it would have been cool. Video girl. Six-eight time. No, it's not. For some reason I was like, I don't know why. That was really weird. My brain must have just had a moment.
92 keep looking at the game, though, trying to make a stand for the main squeeze. Please, you don't stand a chance. Stop acting like you can. The camera's on you, ain't that enough?
So far, this might be my favorite, aside from 2 weeks. Because I like where it's going. It feels like it's building and it feels like it's going somewhere, and like I'm kind of excited to see where she goes for a hook, because she can take it pretty much anywhere now. She could even, build it just a tad more and then just drop it all out and bring it back to where a lot of her other stuff is, and it'd be really sick.
You're looking for that all-round good love, so nothing's gonna get in your way. You're gonna get yourself broke one day. Was she the girl that's from the video? Was she the girl that's from the video? Stop lying to me. Was she the girl
The tempo change. What an interesting choice.
that's from the video? Was she the girl that's from the video? You lie, you lie, you lie. 19, I see a body that can move, the hardest in the room with a quick switch. Kiss, all eyes on you now. What you gonna do? The camera knows you ain't that enough. You're craving for the more universe, so nothing's gonna get in your way. You're gonna get yourself broke one day. Was she
cool too. It gives it that like R&B, that modern R&B flair, which I like. I want more of that. Why is it so forward? Like, what is going on? Like, I swear, she's just banking off of making me feel uncomfortable. The tempo changes are really cool. Those are very difficult to do. I guess actually with everything that they have, it's not too hard. It's not too bad because there's like, you don't have this perfect structure going on, because that's when it's really difficult. Everything has to slow down at the same time. But here they're only slowing down like one or two instruments and then kind of keep bringing them in at different paces, you know? So it's not as hard. But still really a cool idea. Okay, so let's go to numbers. What is up with the detuned? Everything is detuned. When I say detuned, it's almost like, imagine if you had a piano, you have the white keys and the black keys, imagine if there were notes in between. And those are the ones she's using. I don't know, it's weird.
Was I just
Very interesting.
Was I just a number to you? Was I just a lonely girl to fly?
You see what I mean? Like the vocal doesn't even, it's not even in harmony with the instrument that's being played. I gotta know why. You guys are gonna tell me, I'm sure, down in the comments. I'm sure there will be like paragraphs, you know, telling me exactly what's going on. But without any context, it's kind of hard to get it, you know, like to understand exactly what's going on. And I mean, I guess it is meant for analyzation, like to actually sit there and try and analyze, you know, the lyric and what she meant by it. It's like looking at a painting again, you know. I'm just gonna keep using that reference. It's like looking at a painting and one person says, I think it means this, or I think it means this, I think it means this, and you'll stand there for hours and look at like one tiny dot on a piece of just white canvas and try and figure out what it means.
Tonight, I've got a question for you. Tonight, you want to live all day. Was I just a number to you? Was I just a lonely girl to find? Tonight, I've got a question for you. Tonight, you want to live all day. Was I just a Was I just a Was I just
I mean, maybe that's like, maybe they did do some of that stuff I was talking about earlier. Maybe that's like one of the clickers, you know, where you can actually like keep track of numbers going. Maybe they use that as like the sound.
Was I just
actually might be the most experimental album I've ever heard, or the most experimental music I've ever heard. It's so out there, it's unbelievable. This is like even, I was gonna kind of compare it to like Pink Floyd, like Dark Side of the Moon, but it's even more out there than that, not gonna lie. It's funny though, there are elements of like some of the stuff that you talk about in like pop music, like the call and response there, you know, the was I just a number to you? And you have like the number two like way far in the back, you know, but you're kind of exchanging elements there just to keep it going a little bit. Whoa, I feel like my white balance just changed like crazy. What just happened? That was weird. It's so odd. It's so weird. Alright, let's keep going. Let's get closer. This is a journey, that's for sure. They really like that bass. They really like that, and they like the filter too. The auto filter. So notice again, like it's just a very common theme. You know, you do have that vocal way far in the back with all the verb on it, and then you have the beat way up front. Because when you do have everything thrown far back, you end up with this washed out sound. You know, you at least have to have something up front to keep it driving a little bit. That's almost like Sade, which I love Sade. Like that would be a really cool sound for her. Ooh. I would love to see her do something like Sade. She probably won't, because it's, you know, I think she likes doing this a little bit more, and it probably wouldn't be her style, but gosh, I would love a voice like this to do something like that now in modern, you know. Lift was really nice. that was cool. The breaking of the glass, actually, to have a little bit of a transition there was pretty sick because it was so far forward in comparison to everything else. Like, yeah, I actually like that. Okay, give up.
Tell me why act this way. Tell me that I'll change someday. I'll be the one that can satisfy you if I can't rectify that.
There's all the space again.
Few things I've got to change, few things in my way. Okay, so I said before that I won't reply that.
Nice. That little rhythm there was pretty sick. It's pretty cool. I like this one too. I love it when she does have those little bits of structure. Like, they work so well. Again, guys, you know, there's not a ton I can comment on with these. It's really hard because they're so, you know, ambient. They're not using a lot of the things that like I generally talk about or like put into music, if that kind of makes sense, you know, because like of what my goals are musically. So like it's not really my forte to do this. I can get the artistic side of things, and I have a pretty decent, you know, art background as well. But it is more difficult musically for me to dive in when I don't, you know, when I don't have context either. But I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to listen and to feel it out.
Most of the fact. Just nod your head and get up. I'm not gonna let you give up.
That's cool.
Just nod.
She should do a song with The Weeknd. Ooh. That would be pretty sick too. He does that, you know, from time to time as well. He rides that fine line between like super artistic and then brings, you know, has one or two like pop bangers kind of a thing. But they would be really cool together to do something.
Head and get up. I'm not gonna let you give up, babe. I know that sometimes you wish I'd go away. Just nod your head and get up. I'm not gonna let you give up, babe. Do I get another chance? Did I make the final stand above the ones that are so perfect? 'Cause they know how to work it, work it, work it. Looking like I'll keep it up now. I made the cut. Okay, so I've done it before and you think it's enough, but I call this time a wrap. Just nod your head and get up.
See, I love that bass drop into it too. It really does help drive that beat just a little bit. I do kind of want some more real drums on this though. I feel like it'd be cool, or even like just like drums that you know, like you produce into like having a little bit of like a trashy sound, you know, but make it a little bit bigger even, and then have her voice kind of nice and close.
Don't let you give up, babe. Just nod your head and get up. I'm not gonna let you give up, babe. I know that sometimes you wish I'd go away. I know that sometimes you wish I'd go away. But I wish that you
really likes using that pitch down vocal in the back too. Yeah, sorry, I'm just trying to think of a couple of things to pull out, but it changes so much as well. You know, there's so many, there's so much going on that it's hard to even pull some of it out because it's just always something brand new, you know, introduced into the mix, and you're trying to figure out like why it's there, like what's the significance behind it, you know, and like maybe there is, maybe there isn't, you know, you just don't know. That's cool. Honestly, even there with that, I'll let it end. I would have, honestly, with that end, actually, that melody, to just nod your head and give up. It's not the na 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 na. That would have been sick with like a 21 Pilots feel if you did have some real drums on top of it, and it was more or less like a just nod your head and give up. Da 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 na na na. Nod your head and give up. It could have like a heathen's flair to it, which would be kind of cool. That's just where, you know, my brain's going for it. But let's go to the very last song. All right, so kicks. I can't even find the beat.
Yes, I feel for you. So I tell myself.
What is going on? I'm just in there like, okay, I can't even find the beat, and I was like, okay, there it is, here it comes. And I can feel it coming in, and they're just like, yeah. Yeah, you guys are gonna put that into a meme or a GIF or something, guaranteed.
It's cool.
Wow, what have I done to myself?
For me to wait for you, just for you. I collect my thoughts and breathe, because I take your lead. Take your lead. Tell me what do I do when you're not here? What do I do when you're not here?
You know, there's two other little elements here that I've noticed the entire album that they've used a lot, and one of them is like with the beats, like either snare hits or kick hits, and you'll notice it doesn't hit on the beat. There's actually like a flam before, which a flam is like when you go like that. So those are all flams, a little fast. And but it's a little bit faster. It's almost like, or wait, not even. it's like a really weird spot. I guess I can't even actually do it physically because my brain just wired for drums. But anyways, so like they've done that with snares and with kicks, and it really kind of almost throws me off a lot, but it's supposed to. And what was the other thing? Oh, there's a like reverse piano in a ton of different places, a reverse like electric keyboard that they're using a lot, and that's kind of just been a very common theme.
Tell me what do I do when you're not here? What do I do when you're not here? I cannot get like you. When I'm alone, I don't need you. I love my touch.
There's all that stuff is reversed. All that you hear going, that's all reversed. It's like they'll put it in there and just throw a reverse on it.
Know just what to do, so I tell myself it's cool to get my kicks like you, just like you. I just touch myself and say I'll make my own damn way. Own damn way.
Still at
Tell me, what do I do when you're not here? Tell me, what do I do? Baby, it's clear.
It's just so odd. It's so odd. I don't know. I don't know what to do about it. It's if you listen to something like this and then you listen to something like Ed Sheeran where it's like completely, put together, it almost feels like two ends of a spectrum, which for her, I kind of want her to find the middle ground, even with him, I kind of wish sometimes he was a little bit more experimental. Yeah, I just don't even, it's just really, really, really experimental. That's an interesting thing to say very last. Maybe it's clear because everything the entire time has been chaotic, Maybe that's the point. That was one of the weirdest experiences of my life. I don't know how I feel about this album. I mean, it has its it has its ups and it has its downs. It has its there were definitely times it lost me. That's for sure. But there were also times that it like grabbed me. I was like, gosh, that's really good, and like she has a ton of talent, and actually it like hits right, you know. For me, it's totally, you know, from my perspective. Because I mean, it might hit right to somebody else the way that it is. It just, that's the beauty of music, you know. And I try to explain that to people, and a lot of people just don't quite get it. They're like, your music sucks, or your music sucks, or your music sucks. But nobody's opinion matters in music. It's just music. You know, what matters is if you're getting across what you want to get across. And here, honestly, like rating wise, what I would give this in comparison to, because I'm not gonna compare it to like some of my favorite albums. I can't do that. You know, I can't like give her a, you know, I can't give her a rating just based on other pop albums and things that I personally like, you know, and listen to like way more. So honestly, I'm gonna do it based on what I think she was going for. And I mean, it seems like she was going for extremely experimental, just very, very, very artistic. And I mean, from that perspective, and in that like genre of like I said, like Halsey, Lana, pretty much, I think I would give it probably like a 6.5 or a 7. Let's go with a 7. I'm gonna give her a 7. It's also hard because I don't have much to compare it to, you know. But the only things that I wish, like she has a gorgeous voice, she has all these amazing things. The only things that I wish were, one, songs were just a little bit shorter, because I feel like you could get the same point across even if they were a little bit shorter, unless she just really wanted people to get lost in them, which is entirely possible as well. You know, that's why you have the longer songs. And I would just give it a little bit more structure in some spots. I wouldn't kill the integrity of it, you know. If I worked on it, I wouldn't kill the integrity of it. But I'm just saying like what I would have done to make it even better from my perspective. I know I'm like rambling, I'm just thinking. I just would have, maybe some of those hooks just a little bit more defined so that there's like a little bit more of a hook, you know? And I'm not even going to say anything about the space thing because I think that was on purpose. Yeah. Let's go with a 7. That was different. That was so different, guys. Okay. I mean, yeah. I'm gonna have to let this one marinate for a while. Probably come back to it. My 2 favorites on the album, though, definitely were 2 Weeks and Video Girl. I liked those 2 the absolute best. Those ones felt really good, and they had some great structure. They had some really great moments, and they were nice and dynamic too. And I feel like they showcased her voice a little more, which that's the other thing. I would have liked to have her showcase her vocal just a little bit more because it's very obvious that she's talented, and she can even jump into these songs without any kind of reference tone or anything because there's so many weird tones going on. You know how hard it is to keep on pitch with all of that going on in the back. It's ridiculous. So yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for hanging around. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time, I'll catch y'all later.